Hello, my name is William Perkins, but please call me Bill. I'm 52 years old, and I've been married for the last 4 years to my husband Ismail, who I met online and chatted with for over 5 years before I traveled to Istanbul, Turkey to meet and live with him for a year. I got to explore different areas of Turkey, and I also took a couple of trips to Italy during my year of living abroad. If you can do it, travel. Go somewhere with a different culture, language, art, food, architecture, etc., etc. I guarantee most of you will love it. Just be open to something new. The last 15 years, I have been disabled due to an injury, and I had surgeries on both shoulders and elbows and one wrist, followed by over a year of physical therapy. I was left with permanent damage to the ligaments and nerves, which impedes my ability to do a lot of physical activity or repetitive activity. I have learned to work around it as much as possible and to pace myself in order to get things done. I take a lot of breaks, use ice packs and heat packs, and it all kind of slows me down, but I get there in the end. For many years before my injury, I worked with developmentally disabled adults, both in a state institution and also in group homes. Those years gave me an appreciation for communication and its many varieties, as I worked with and cared for people with wildly divergent abilities to communicate. Some of my clients were completely nonverbal and unable to use sign language. This required developing ways of communication that sometimes were only used with just that one person. Sometimes we had boards with pictures and ideograms on them that the person could point to try to communicate to us. There were times where we developed really a series of grunts, growls, squeaks in order to communicate. And for a lot of them, the main form of communication was body language. And they were geniuses at it. They could read somebody the minute they walked in a room and know whether or not they wanted that person near them. I really loved that job. I loved that profession, and I miss it still. The one great takeaway from working with developmentally disabled people that I had was that a failure to communicate is always a two-way problem. If someone does not understand you, it's not just their problem, fault, or inability. It's also yours for not working to find a solution, or for just assuming that everyone communicates the way you do. Also, just because someone nods at you or smiles, never assume that they understood you. The last few years of my work was as an administrator, hiring, firing, and training staff. I also had to create and implement programs for individuals and clients and communicate those programs to the managers, the staff, the clients themselves, their family members, representatives from state agencies and funding and housing agencies and charities. The biggest lesson I got there was to keep it simple. Avoid jargon at all cost. And once again, never assume they understood you. Ask questions of your audience that are directly related to the information you just gave. Do it in a pleasant and non-confrontational manner, but make sure they know what you are saying. One trick that helped me a lot was to find someone who was new to the client, working with that person, or to the company itself, and review information or programs with them, and then have them answer questions to determine if they could understand it just by simply reading what had been put down, because a lot of our programs was just in binders that a new staff person would have to come in and read through that to learn how to communicate and work with a client. If they could do that and get it, then great. If not, then I needed to modify those directions or my presentation when training them to better communicate the idea or steps involved. I just finished getting my Associate of Applied Science degree in Network Administration at SCC, and now I'm working on my Bachelor of Applied Science in Information Systems and Technology. My goal is to be able to work at least part-time with computers and networking. My husband, Ismail, is currently at Eastern working on his bachelor's in computer science and will probably continue to get his master's degree. Afterwards, we are hoping to move somewhere in Europe so that he'll be closer to his family. But hey, not too close, okay? Maybe Switzerland. We shall see. Anyway, thanks for listening to me drone on. I'm looking forward to having some interesting discussions with all of you. Have a great night, day, wherever you're at. Thanks. Bye.